Hello and welcome to an update that is a week late. I apologize. Hi, I have a very quick update. I have a good update. Well, it's not going to be a very quick update because I just went on a run for like half an hour. So I'm filming this again. So we have good news. We have very good news. And I actually mean good news. Plateau watch is over. Yeah. And it's good news because we've lost weight. I say we like a royal we, but I've lost weight. I don't know when. I really don't know when it happened, but it's happened sometime in the last week and a half. But I stepped on the scales one Tuesday morning after being woken up stupid early, and I was like, why not? I haven't done it in a while. I've been stuck at 95.6 since the end of October 2024. So it's been about 16 to 18 weeks. But when I stepped on the scale that morning, I was at 94.7. Even if it was a fluke, I was so happy to see that. I was so happy to see that. Oh my goodness. It wasn't, it was happiness and it was relief. Because everything that I read about plateaus said that they could stick around for 6 months, and it's been about 3 and a bit, nearly 4. This is electrolyte water, by the way. It's Berry Blast. It has electrolytes, rehydration. It's a liquid IV. That's the word I'm looking for. I need to blow my nose, sorry. As happy as I've been, I have been sick for the last 5 days. And I'm still sick. And I just had a lovely type of coughing fit right there. And my voice is going again. So we're going to try and keep this short. Also, 80% less sugar. No stevia. So it kind of tastes gross, but it's more tolerable than other stuff. Okay. That one was bad. Sorry. Yeah, I've been sick. I don't know what it is. I think it's a cold because I've done two different 4-in-1 COVID tests, which also do two flu A and B and RSV. First test said that I had RSV, and then the next day it said I didn't, so I don't know what the fuck is going on there. And yes, rat tests can be, flawed. That's fine, so I don't know. I'm settling on, it's cold, and my body just hates me, so we're settling on that. It's really bad. But I have been stuck in my room for the last 5 days, so I am craving to go for a walk because this weather is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful outside, but I still feel like shit. So I can't do that. And it sucks. But that doesn't mean I haven't been doing workouts. That doesn't mean I haven't been doing things to keep myself mobile. Sorry, nose blowing, gross. I can feel that coming for a little while, actually. Ugh, man, I hate this. Yeah, no, I've been doing little workouts at home. Like I've said in the past, I don't like going to the gym because it's a voluntary thing and I never have the motivation to go to the gym. So I just have the equipment at home to work with things. I have these little 1 kilo phallic looking hand weights, literally just mostly for wrist exercises and arm exercises. Because surprisingly, this exercise of just lifting your arm ahead of you is weirdly tough. Like, that's weird. Never experienced that. And then I've got the 2-3 kilo dumbbells as well, which doing these exercises, doing the behind the head, and doing little squats as well. My friend is so sweet. I love her to bits, but for Christmas she also got me a joke gift, but surprisingly it's been working out really well. I think she got this from Temu. This is a Pilates bar. It is literally just a bar that's supposed to mimic an over-the-shoulder weights bar, and you hold that, and you do your squats, things like that, and you loop these little bits around your feet, and use the tension as the weight while you're doing squats. I honestly am loving this thing, because it's not just, doing the squats. There's a few other exercises you can do with it. I reckon she got this from Temu, it's actually been helping me a lot since, because of course I can't use the giant weighted bar. That's fine. Having that tension is great, so I'm just doing that at home as well as some like Pilates and calisthenics. Oh, come on. Okay. Yeah. So I need to cut this short, but I just want to give you an update medical wise. So this is where it's going to get a bit TMI, talking about women's health and some sexual things as well. So yeah, if you don't want to hear anything about the woman's body or anything like that, you can leave now. That's totally fine. If you want to stick around and hear about chemical imbalance and things like that, and some things that are on my mind at least at the moment, then stick around. I implore you, and I apologize for the shaky camera. My camera is literally, well, my phone is literally sitting on my little fan, which is charging at the moment, and a box of tissues because I need that a lot. First things first, scented tissues fucking suck, especially when you're sick. Holy shit, why did I got this for the design? That's on me. Just get unscented ones next time, dumb bitch. Anyway, now I'm pretty sure in my last video I talked about how I started seeing a chiropractor. If I didn't, long story short, there's a chiropractor that's nearby my house. It's run by this lovely brother-sister pair, which actually, because where I live, the world is too fucking tiny. They somehow, like, I'm pretty sure my chiropractor used to be my little sister's friend back in school, and now we're both in our late 20s. I'm still in my 20s. Let me live for a minute. But yeah, I started seeing her because back in 2022 I had an injury to my hip, and she instantly did a full review and was like, your entire right side of your body is compensating. When I had the injury originally, no one really told me much of anything, even though like they gave me no explanations as to why it would have happened. They just listened to me and said, oh, it's muscular pain, here's some pain management, you'll recover in like 6 weeks. Bad idea. Very bad idea. I did get an x-ray done on my hip, and as my chiropractor has seen, because they have the connections to Pacific Radiology, the person who did a report on my x-ray put what? 2 words? 3 words. No visible injury. That's not a report. That's not a fucking report. So she went back. She actually went back to ask them about, like, to get a redo of my report, and turns out the person who did my report doesn't work there anymore. No fucking shocker. So, I'm gonna have to get either another x-ray or an MRI done to fulfill the suspicions that we have. Now, what my chiropractor has assessed, that based on the injury, what we suspect would have happened is, say this is the leg joint, this is the big long thigh bone, and there's that ball socket on the top, sort of thing. In your pelvis, in your hip, there's that lovely curve, which leads to, like, creates that hip shape. That bit is holding the bone in, and it normally holds quite well. What she suspects happened is there was actually a tear in the connective tissue between these two bones, between these two joints, and that's what caused such a significant injury. And 3 years later, because now it is 3 years later, the injury happened in February 2022. My body has been compensating the entire time. So not just from my hip down, but from my hip up. My entire right side of my body, to my neck, to my ankle, has been compensating the entire time. And it is very tight. It is very constricted, which is weird because I thought that the right side of my body was actually stronger, because I've been doing little exercises, little stretches, to help the right side of my body get stronger. So I thought the right side of my body was stronger. It's actually been compensating this entire time. It's actually just a lot tighter, so I have a bit more control over those muscles. It doesn't mean I wasn't in pain. Yeah, with that injury I was on tramadol for 6 months, and every so often I get flare-ups in pain. Every so often I get, those twinges. So what my chiropractor has done, what my chiropractor suspects, is a possibility that the right side of my body has not just been compensating, but the right side of my hip bone has hip dysplasia. Now that is when, again, the thigh bone and the hip joint, normally they sit quite nice and snugly. Hip dysplasia is a slight flaring. It's a very slight flaring in the bone, so there's a bit more space for that bone to move around, whereas normally it would be nice and tight. So there's a little bit more space, which is why I experience pain in my hips so often, why I experience sometimes if I'm repositioning my body, like if I'm going from sitting cross-legged to stretching out, that motion where I'm going from lateral to outwards, it sometimes I can feel like it feels like a bubble, like I'm trying to readjust against a balloon or something like that. And I need to pop that balloon so that I can be more comfortable and sit in the right position. That's the only way I can explain it. That's the only way it feels to me. I'm gonna cough. Yeah. So that's where that suspicion is coming from. From the x-ray alone, we could only see a very slight indication of that. The ball joint of my thigh bone alone is actually beautiful and healthy, but it's my hip specifically that is causing the problem. So that on top of the hypermobility, which I have always had. I've always had hypermobility. Like, for one, you can see I can lovingly show off all my tattoos in one go. Like, this is just with my arms. It's also the same with my legs and things like that. Not so much in my fingers though. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't have that extreme one where like I can touch my thumb to my wrist very well. Yeah, sorry, a bit much. But yeah, I've always had a hypermobility, and that will explain why my knees, why my ankles pop all the time, why my wrist is clicking all the time, why my neck is clicking all the time, and why it's so easy for me to pop the joints in my fingers, and every so often I can just pull on my thumb, yep, and I can feel that joint just pop out a little bit, and it's just a little bit of relief. Go to a professional, get an expert opinion. If you're not happy with that, get a second opinion. If they tell you the exact same thing, listen to them. Oh my goodness. But yeah, to confirm if I have hip dysplasia on my right side, then I need an MRI. So that a letter of recommendation is going to be given to my GP, which I need to go see my GP to talk about that. But she's also said, go have a look into this information, do your own research. I recommend these journals, which I've done that. And that led me down another track. This is where I start waffling. I apologize. And every time I pause this, I'm pausing so that I can cough and not blow out your eardrums, because no one wants to hear that. It's kind of concerning with how badly I'm coughing. So, yeah, we're doing our best. So, in my research for hypermobility, so I can understand these things better, that kind of led me down another alleyway, because as always, like, it's okay to have suspicions. It's okay to do research and be like, hey, is it possible that this is a thing? That led me down the route of reading, like properly reading about, because I've heard about it, but I've never researched it, of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Now, I wouldn't be bringing it up if it was just a, like, oh, this is a funny thing that I read about, here's this thing that it could possibly be. No, I am bringing this up because there are some symptoms that stand out for me and have made my brain go, uh-oh. It's the same thing when I was researching ADHD and autism and being like, what stands out for me, what sounds right, what is unique to me, so on and so forth. God, every time I blow my nose, I can hear my sinuses creaking like a door in the wind. It's not good. Yes, I look very red in the face. These coughs are not gentle. Anyway, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Now, like I said, wouldn't be bringing this up if something didn't spot out to me. Otherwise, it would just stay a twinkle in my eye of idea. But no. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is a group of inherited disorders that mostly affect the skin, joints, and blood vessels. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome affects the connective tissue, primarily your skin, the joints, and the blood vessels. blood vessel walls. Sorry, I am literally reading this off my laptop because I've just done some research just to make sure I'm getting the correct information to you. Typical symptoms of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. There are two different types of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. But the one that I'm, of course, reading about most is hypermobility Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. The typical symptoms, of course, is excessive hypermobility, very elastic skin, sometimes pain, joints that can dislocate, things like that. That's what a lot of people look into. It may also, in some cases, lead to dilations or even rupturing of major blood vessels. That's where a lot of danger comes from. Now, there is no treatment, there's no cure for Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It is something that you live with, and you take management and monitoring for complications. Some of this can include medication, some of this can include therapy, some of this can lead down to surgery, depending on the type of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome that you get. Now, there are four symptoms that screamed out to me for EDS that kind of that made me think about it. Now, these are just your typical ones. Typical symptoms is joint hypermobility. I showed you that with my arms. The loose and unstable joints, that would be my hip and my ankles. Joint pain and clicking joints. I mean, I get that all the time, no duh. And yes, clicking joints is typically gas being released from between the joints. And there's that same clicking that you get from getting an adjustment from the chiropractor. Fatigue is an interesting one, because and this is the one that I want a little bit more explanation on, because I don't know if it's fatigue of the joints or fatigue of the body. And then there's bruising easily. I mean, come on, I'm pale as fuck. Any bruise is gonna show up super fucking easy. But these four are the ones that are also on the list, and ones that regularly come up in different journals. I've read the NHS. I've read. I don't completely trust WebMD, but it was recommended to me as well. Mayo Clinic, things like that, and of course proper journals. The first one being digestive problems. How is hypermobility in the joints, clicking, and fatigue connected to digestive problems such as heartburn and constipation? I don't get heartburn, I get a lot of constipation though. Again, it's the connectivity of the connective tissue. It's the things that are holding your guts together. It's not just your skin, it is the things that hold your guts where they're supposed to be in your body. And that includes your intestines. So that's interesting. I've always thought that my digestive problems was IBS. And I've been treating my digestive problems as if they were IBS, and most of them have been working. And then I started this weight loss journey. So things have changed. Dizziness and increased heart rate after standing up. That usually screams anemia. That usually screams iron deficiency. That usually screams quite a few other things. So I need more information to explain why. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that this doesn't fall, because it's going to fall one way or another. But I do experience a lot of dizziness, and like, for example, when I blow my nose when I'm really sick, sometimes the room just starts spinning and I just get really lightweight, and don't like that. Don't like that, especially after standing up if I've been sitting down, and I've been sitting down for the last 5 days. I've been resting, drinking my fluids. I still feel gross, but walking is an experience. Again, don't completely understand where, like, this is what I need more information on. I don't completely understand how that's connected. I need more information. I'm going to be doing my research. These next two are ones that I've experienced, one that I live with, well, both I live with, but one that I live with and has been very helpful to nurses, and one that has been very TMI, very, very TMI, very annoying for my social life. The first one being that it says that some symptoms also include translucent skin. Yeah, I keep saying that I don't have a color, I don't have a shade. My shade is translucent, mostly because on a good day, when I'm like, if I'm slightly dehydrated, especially, down my arm, I know you can't really see it right now, but you can see my veins really well on bad days. But I can always see where my veins are. I can see these ones going down here, and up here, and slightly to Zero's nose. We've got this one going down here, and then all the veins going through my hand. Now, some people might think that's normal, but I'm pale as fuck. This, at the moment, is the most color that I've got, and not the tattoo. Like, I'll show you my belly. That's how fucking pale I am. That is how pale I am. You see that? You see that? Yeah, that's not normal. That's not normal. I'm sorry, I just flashed you. I'm sorry. This is gonna get age restricted. I apologize. It's fine. Don't care. But yeah, I'm pale as fuck. You can normally see my veins on a day when I've not been drinking a lot of water. Like, if I'm slightly dehydrated, you can definitely see all my veins. Yeah, this is the most color I get. And it's not a lot. Yeah, so the elastic and translucent skin, that bruises easily. That's been my life. I've even had it a couple of times when I've been having to get IVs or blood drawn, and the nurses are like, why can I not pierce your skin? What the hell? Weird. But the big one, this is the most TMI, okay? This is the most into my personal life that you're ever gonna hear. Pain during sex. As well as, of course, pain during menstruation, during periods, and all that stuff like that, which is mostly why I'm on birth control and hormonal birth control, to control that pain, to control, like, manage what I experience, and what goes through my body. Which could be a huge contributing factor to why I gained so much weight already. But it's specifically the pain during sex, because I've had that a couple of times where I've told guys to get off me because it was hurting. It wasn't fun anymore. It wasn't nice. I honestly thought that it was related to the ADHD, where just out of nowhere everything feels different, everything feels wrong. Or not wrong, like morally wrong, but like the texture feels weird, the sensation feels weird. It's not pleasurable, it's friction, it's pain, it's burning. I thought that it had to do with the ADHD. Turns out it could be this, which talks about how the connective tissue in my pelvis is actually experiencing more pain than pleasure. And it's not just with people as well. Of course, I have a lonely man's myself, which I love doing the lonely man's. I feel so much better about myself, and I feel more attractive when I do that for myself. Like, that is entirely why I do the lonely man's. It's not for money, it's not for, attention. It is an exercise in my sexual well-being and my own perception of myself. I know this is not the best example because I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm looking at you from a lower angle so you see the bags in my eyes. Yeah. I've had that sometimes where after filming a toy review, shall we say, I feel nothing but pain, and it really hurts right in my pelvic area, and it puts me off doing a lot of videos. And like, I got sent a toy from a New Zealand toy store, shall we say, that is supposed to alleviate one of the complaints where people couldn't watch me ride a bicycle, shall we say. So I was sent a posable bicycle. I'm scared because that bicycle is well made, and I could ride it really, really well, but I'm scared. I won't, because I know that if I ride this bicycle wrong, I could end up in a lot of pain, and I could end up, like, I don't fear breaking the bicycle, but yeah, it's mostly pain. And I've actually explained this to the first guy that actually asked me about it and was like, "Are you okay? I know you didn't bleed, but you were in a lot of pain, and what's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, this is normal for me. I've experienced this quite a bit." And he goes, "That's not normal." I'm like, "I'm just broken, okay? I'm just broken." I joked about it at that time, but then it happened again, and that guy was also like, "That's not a good thing. Is I've never heard of this before. Like, are you sure I didn't hurt you?" And it's so hard to explain. And I'm like, fuck. Because, sorry, I'm getting on a sexually charged front now. I already struggle with a lot of social anxiety, and I especially struggle with, you know, sexual things and talking to people, going out. Like, in my 20s, I was never someone that would, go on hookup dates and things like that. I I didn't lose my virginity until I was 23. And yes, that was 6 years ago. I still experience a lot of pain, and I sometimes when I would feel the pain, I would grab onto the guy and get them to stop. But I was actually in a lot of pain. Um, it and so now that I know that this is a possibility to explain what's going on there, I really don't want it to affect my future, relationships or anything like that, because I don't have very good relationships. The last relationship I had was very long distance. Turns out they were cheating on me from like a month in. And yes, I would consider it cheating because we talked about it like being open. It was like, just talk to me about like any experiences they had, and they talked to me about everyone except that consistent person, and it wasn't just once, it was like 8 times over the course of 6 months, and it was, yeah. That's where I'm just kind of stuck. I'm like, if in this modern day and age, yes, there's a lot of understanding, yes, there's a lot of good guys out there, but in the city where I live, there's not a lot of good guys. There's a lot of hiking guys, there's a lot of sports guys, there's a lot of guys who expect things, and it all comes back down to sex. It really does all come back down to sex, and that's it. And it's really hard to form relationships that way, and it's really hard to think about future relationships, starting future relationships, if I can't give that. And it's not so much that I can't give it, it's fearing how someone would react to asking them to control their instincts, their wild side, because I could be in pain. And it's nothing that is of their fault, it's my broken body. Because I already struggle with how people perceive me, because I'm still so close to 100 kilos. And I'm telling myself every day that I am better because I've already dropped 7 kilos, at least 7, nearly 8 kilos. I'm already better for that. I already feel better for that. But even if I lose the weight, I could still possibly have this complication that even if I lose the weight and on the outside look better to people perceiving me for the first time, there's still, you know, the personality, there's still the ADHD, there's still the broken body on the inside that needs to be compensated for. And I know people will say, like, when you find the right one, they'll do whatever it takes to be with you. And I would do whatever I could to be with them. No shit. I know that. But I don't want someone to have to change to be with me. That changes a lot of, like, perception. Like, it really shouldn't. I can do a lot of research to make things better, but it's the fact that I already struggle with building relationships, meeting new people, trusting new people. And now just to add that on top of it, like, it puts me back in that mindset of why the fuck do I bother? Why do I bother doing this if I'm still gonna be the last one picked? At the end of the day, I would be returned goods when they find out the terms and conditions that come with me. Okay. I am. That's where my mind's at. That is where my brain is at. And like I said, this is not a diagnosis, this is just something that's on my mind. This is something I would like to talk to my doctor about, and this is something I need to talk to my doctor about. But I need to get well first. This started off with such a happy video. Yay, we pushed past the plateau watch. Yay, we've got things to work forward to now. Yay, my body finally listened. And then I got deep. Not really deep, but yeah. By the way, I don't share this because I'm looking for advice. I don't share this because, well, sometimes I'm looking for advice. I'll tell you if I need advice. Sometimes I just share these things because this is where my mindset's at, because these are the kinds of things that we experience while going through any kind of journey, not just weight loss, not just, you know, pregnancy or trying to bulk up or trying to learn new skills and things like that. It's a significant lifestyle change in this case, and it's not all happy fun times. And like I said, none of this is confirmed. We don't have an answer just yet. We will investigate, talk with the doctor, figure out where to go from there. Yeah. Okay. I'm done being a sad bitch. For now. Okay. Deep breaths. Next couple of weeks are going to be interesting. as we go into March, March is when I start having due dates. Let's just really quickly for what's coming ahead in March. April is the first conventions, so in March I will be working a lot on my cosplays. I need to finish Catherine of Aragon, I need to finish Mami Tomoe, I need to get those finished for Christchurch Armageddon, I need to decide what I'm doing for Christchurch Armageddon, and I need to figure out exactly what I'm doing for Wellington because my mind keeps on flip-flopping. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So those challenges on top of let's get this shit done. It's great fun. Yeah, Catherine is going to be taking up a lot of my time. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee you that. I already think I know that I need to do an extra something with that costume in particular, which is great fun. Love that. But for now, I will bid you farewell, and I will see you in the coming weeks. I don't know where this is going to lead. I've got a lot to do, so hopefully I'm on the mend. Hopefully I can breathe a little bit better in the coming weeks, and we can get this all sorted. I need to make lists, I need to finish editing photos, I need to get that shit out, and I need to go for a walk before summer's over. Because I'm missing out on a lot of beautiful sunshine. Okay. Sorry for this waffling this last minute. This slow ending, but yeah, that's what's going on. I will talk to you all soon. Okay.